Hello, and welcome to the Jared Hurst Podcast. This podcast is about understanding ourselves, others, and the tools that you can use in order to transform your life. This week, I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to do a little bit different format. As you can see, if you happen to be watching on the video, I am sitting down instead of standing up. There's two reasons for that. Two, not four. Two reasons for that. One, I've been having some hamstring issues, so I'm just kind of trying to take it easy, let everything heal up. And the other reason is just kind of what I'm talking with you about today. I didn't necessarily want it to feel quite the same way because I'm really just having a discussion with you about some things that are going on in my life and how I feel like those things can end up helping you in your life, which is really what the podcast is about. But I don't know, it feels less definitive. Some of the stuff that I'm talking about today are, I don't want to say theories, but just things that I've been trying in my life that have been making a difference, but things that I don't know that I have as much experience with. A lot of the times when I'm talking with you on the podcast, I'm talking with you about things that I've really been putting into practice for a really long time, and I feel very confident in what those things are. It's not that I don't feel confident in these things, it's just kind of a new thing that I'm experiencing, and I can see changes in my life. It's something that's important enough, I feel like it's worth talking with you about now, before I have been doing it for months and months. So, what are we talking about this week? This week, the topic for our podcast is giving freely of ourselves. And if you wanted to add something to that, it might be in order to attract the right things into our lives. If I was going to make it a little longer, maybe I will. I haven't really decided exactly how I'm going to title it on my podcast. But in essence, that's the gist of it, is giving freely of ourselves in order to attract the right things into our lives. And I've really noticed this lately. I've had a lot of blessings come into my life lately, which is great because I've had some really difficult, challenging times over the last 3 years where things haven't gone incredibly well, and I've felt like I was being challenged. At times, I felt like I was abandoned and that I was just completely alone trying to figure everything out. The great thing is every single one of those challenges has led me to where I am now and have helped me to become a better person. I think that's a big part of why I'm in the energy that I'm in now and what I want to talk with you about today. One of the things that has really helped me in attracting more abundance into my life, into attracting different energies and joy and fulfillment and all these different things that have come into my life lately, is this sense of faith, this sense of belief that whatever happens in my life is there for a purpose. I believe that when things are coming into my life, if something challenging shows up, a lot of the times it's really easy to have that difficult moment and feel overwhelmed by it, to feel fear, to feel anxiety. And that doesn't mean that I've stopped having fear, anxiety, stress. All those things are very much still part of my life, just like everybody else in this world. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't have some type of spectrum of those emotions in their life. But what I've noticed is that when those things come, I tell myself, this is here for a purpose. I will find a way through this, and I will grow from this. No matter, it's a growth mindset is really what it comes down to. I started adopting a growth mindset 3 years ago. Kept telling myself every time something challenging came into my life that there was a blessing inside of this challenge. And continuing to repeat that over and over and over again has finally sunk into the point that I feel like it's very much a part of who I am. It took just like anything else in life, when you're trying to change your mind, you're trying to change your actions, there is a transition period. You start doing things a little more than you used to, and more and more and more, and then finally it just really starts to sink in and become part of who you are. But that takes time. It's not a quick overnight process. But I've got to the point, and it's not just growth. It's not just a belief that there is a blessing inside of things. It's a belief that I am going to be cared for, that I believe in myself and my abilities to adapt to the situation that's in front of me, to find a solution or whatever it might be, and that in the end, things are going to be for my good. And so when those difficult, challenging things come up, not only do I have this belief, this faith that things are going to work out, and if you're not a religious person, that's okay. I don't think you have to be religious in order to feel this way. But when those moments come and I have this belief and this faith and everything else like that, and this joy around being able to learn from that experience and grow from that experience, and then I'm going to be cared for. One of the key things that I've done, one of the things that's really started to elevate my life to a new level, is when those things happen, I ask myself, how can I make the things around me better? How can I make the lives of the people that I interact with better? How can I contribute and give to others around me? How can I be more friendly? How can I be more supportive? How can I help others feel better about themselves? How can I step out of my fear and give freely to myself? How can I be compassionate to myself? It's all about this free exchange of energy, this free giving of myself and my gifts, not holding back who I am. And I think it's a culmination of all these things, of changing my identity and letting go of insecurities. It's from being compassionate with myself. It's from allowing myself to feel emotion and being patient with myself, to recognize the human experience and be comfortable with that human experience. The fact that that experience has ups and downs and struggles and joys and incredible moments, and all of those things. You're not just living for the good moments, you're living to live. And so I think as I've changed my perspective around life, I've added all these beautiful coping mechanisms, all these different mindsets, but really the one that is coming to me lately is just this free giving of myself. I've had times where things have been challenged. I had a moment where I was in a business situation and I felt like the only way for me to solve that problem was to give up large amounts of money. And I said, you know what? This is the best thing for the people that I'm interacting with. And I will be taken care of. Things will work out. I don't know how, but this is going to turn into a good situation and I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to do the thing that I feel good about in this moment for these people. And the awesome thing is that within 15 minutes of this problem coming up, some solutions came into play and it ended up working out. And I'm so grateful that that happened. I think in the past, I would have handled it differently. My energy around it would have been different. I would have been in a fear state. I would have been in a defensive state. But because my energy was free, because my main purpose and goal is to uplift and improve the world around me, things have been happening for me. And it's not just this one situation. I've been having it time after time after time after time. I see somebody in the store, I talk with them. I listen to their problems and I support them. I do what I can to make people feel important, seen, heard, understood. I'm not perfect at it. I make mistakes. As somebody who loves to talk, I have many times where I talk too much. And I realize that maybe I've made the conversation a little too much about me, or I haven't been good enough at being curious or listening or whatever. But I work at it. And then I have things that used to drag me down, that would put me in a fear space. I have things that I would have some type of interpretation on. The way that I framed it and the way that I looked at it would be a negative thing. And I flip those things around. If this person doesn't want to be in my life, that's okay. I love who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I'm living up to my potential. I'm acting on the things that I truly desire. And like I said, it's this culmination of all these things. I don't think you can just say, yeah, I'm going to live in a state of love. I'm going to live in a state of freely giving of my gifts, and everything is going to fall into place. I think it's a start. I think it's a really, really, really important step in this journey of life and self-transformation and fulfillment and joy and all those things. I can tell you what, I feel better about who I am now because I've been working consistently and obsessively on the way that I view myself and the way that I interact with myself. And now that I have those foundational pieces in place, and then I just look to better the world around me, it is like I have had just blessings opened up upon my life. And I've had some big struggles during this time. Things have not been easy. I've had challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge show up. And each one of those challenges, I welcome that experience, have faith that things are going to work, and then continue to give freely, find joy and gratitude, and live my life in the best way I possibly can. And I'm not perfect at it. And when I'm not perfect at it, I give myself grace. It would be really easy to get emotional right now, to be honest. And I get emotional. But I don't want to ramble here, really. I really want to just share that with you. It's not a really long podcast episode. It's not something that I'm going deep and giving you this formula for life. But it is a formula for life. It is deep. It is transformative. Ask yourself, how can I make the world a better place around me right now? You will feel better about yourself. You'll find solutions to problems. You'll feel more open, more loving, more accepting. You will attract more of the things that you desire into your life. And that's the other thing. Focus on what it is that you desire in life and go after it. Being free and giving with your energy, making the world a better place, does not mean that I am sacrificing me. I am still prioritizing my needs, my wants, the things that I love and care about, and making sure that I am being a good, loving person to myself first and foremost. First and foremost. Giving freely does not mean sacrificing yourself. There's been times, like giving up financial resources, where it's on that border, where there's part of me that's like, well, this kind of feels like I'm sacrificing my needs. But I look at it and say, you know what? My needs are okay. I'm going to be met. I'm going to be cared for. The biggest thing is that I live my life in accordance with who I want to be as a person. And then I feel really good about it. I feel really good about it. And I think that energy is part of why other things come into your life, why the right things get attracted, why solutions present themselves, why blessings come, why when you have those challenges, you grow from them, is because that perspective you have in your mind and the way that you approach those things. So I hope that you can learn from that. I hope you can see the path in order to implement those things in your life. And if you have questions, I'm here to help you. Reach out to me. I have never been shy about talking with people, about helping people. I've spent hours freely talking with people on the phone, meeting them in person, doing anything that I can. I've had people that I go and I meet them for a couple of hours in order to help them with something that they need support with. I've had people that I've talked with on the phone. I've had people that have needed my advice, technical knowledge, whatever it might be, and I've shown up for them. And it makes me happy. It brings me a lot of joy. My life is significantly better now than it was. I believe in you. I know that you can do it. Until next time, remember that you are not alone.